Good evening and welcome to Speak Up Club Inner Circles or Speak Up Club's fourth Friday night. Every fourth Friday of the month, we have an open mic. We have a session which is open to all the guests, continuing the culture or the bond that we have built over the past 4 years. Yes, it's 4 years since COVID happened. So today is 22nd, exactly 4 years back. Today night was a surprise gift that Narendra Modi gave us. And we were all locked up. And that is what possibly those doors were locked, but the opportunities opened up after that. Sad for the losses that we have had in this time, but this has opened up a different world altogether. And today, possibly, the reason why we are all connected on this platform is because of COVID and the initiative that we started post-COVID. May 23rd was when we started the Speak Up Club. We went on for 125 Saturday nights on a trot. And then we decided to move member only and start to have these Speak Up Club sessions only on the fourth Friday of every month. That is what we have been doing since the last year. Here we are into 2024 now. And today, we have got into these sessions for the past 3 months. This is the last session of this quarter. And we have got into these sessions of public speaking mastery, which we have been engaging, the members of the club have been engaging and learning over the past 3 months. We have touched upon very specific detailed elements on learning specific things about public speaking over the past 3 months. We have got into the content part of it where we worked on for 2 whole months about how can we build compelling and speeches or content which is impactful, meeting a purpose that we have. And then this month, we got into the delivery part of it, where we are focused on the first part of delivery, which is the vocals, the impact that we can make with our voice, how every change of tone or the pace that we speak at, the pauses that we have a deeper impact in the message that we deliver. And today, we are going to witness the speeches being shared or delivered by the members who are going to bring about all the learnings that they had in the past 3 months and deliver their speeches. And for the guests, like I mentioned, today's an open mic. The guests, whoso is not a member, are open to share their views on the theme that we have. Let's get going with the theme. Hi, Dr. Rashmi, good to see you. You're too far away from the camera. If it's possible to change something, you're too far away. You're already too far away from us in London, and in the camera also, you're feeling too far away now.
Now it's okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
better,
Nice
but
to
still.
see you all. I'm very privileged to see you all. I'm so happy.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. It's glad to see you. With that, let me open the theme for today. What's your DNA? No, I'm not getting into biology here. When we look at the word DNA, what comes to our mind is about how each one of us is wired and unique in our own ways. And that is something that I feel that when someone said this quotation, if you judge a fish by its ability to fly and a monkey by its ability to swim, both are going to fail and both are going to be remaining stupid. What I believe is each one of us is born with a certain strength, something that we are passionate about, something which is a part of our DNA. And all our life, we keep shifting gears, moving here and there, not realizing what our DNA is, what our strength is, and furthermore, not working to build on it. DNA is something which makes us unique, which makes us special. Not that we do not have flaws, but yet DNA is something that gives us the power to make an impact with what we are good at. And today's theme, with the idea of what's your DNA, we are going to dwell on individual members, you sharing your stories of what is your specialty, what makes you different, what makes you unique, and what is the impact that you wish to do with your uniqueness. Today's theme is about sharing what's your DNA. And then as we progress through the session, we will be looking at different perspectives on how we can all build or find our DNA and go ahead with building our DNA. Because ultimately, if you look at people across the globe or companies across the globe or entities across the globe, the ones that have succeeded are the ones who have been able to build their own DNA, project their DNA, and succeed based on that DNA. And that's the power of recognizing and living your uniqueness. Let's begin today's session with a few perspectives from anyone who would like to go first about what is it that you feel is your DNA. Kiran, Rashmi, and Harish, I would want you to go next after one of the members is speaking. So let's begin with Ellen. You ready? Over to you, Ellen.
Yeah. What is mean by DNA? Don't worry, it's not about science. It's all about our unique and special things. We have a lot of qualities. I'm going to tell top 3 of mine. The first one, planning. We should plan A, plan B. So if we are doing plan A and plan B, if one plan got failed or it's not going through as per our perspective, so we can go plan B. This is how I will do in my personal life as well as office. So we no need to think about only one plan fluctuated or something like that. This is my first thing. My second thing, passion. So how we are passionate about, how we are love to do. We are lot of things we love to do, right? So how we, that is my Brahmastama, I can tell. Reason I will be wait, how I will wait. The birds will wait for fish. You know, right? How much time it will wait. The same thing I used to wait uncompleted. I will used to work whatever that assigned to me. I will not think about result. Result is byproduct. We no need to think about result. This is my second thing. The third one, consistency. I used to work continuously towards that goal. How I will work? I have some small baby steps. For example, 2 minutes habit. Instead of, for example, you have to walk half an hour or 2 hours like that. So all they used to think, we need to walk, how we can walk tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like that 6 months also New Year resolution, like that lot of things we had. What I am following, 2 minutes habit. Just I will follow the 2 minutes for walking minutes. I will talk 2 minutes, just talking. I need to practice. I need to do 2 minutes, walking, dance, or something like that. I used to do 2 minutes. That's how I'm following. This is my in my life. Just I'm summarizing. First one is plan A, plan B. Second one, I have passion towards my work. Third one, I have consistency. This is my DNA. What about yours? Please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. That's a great speech with regard to sharing your 3 DNAs. I was just curious when you said plan A and plan B. I hope you're not shared this with your wife that you have a plan B. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. That was very interesting and very clear, thought out DNA that you have reflected on. I believe that is where it helps us. First thing is recognizing what we believe our DNA is based on what we have done in the past, what our patterns have been, and then going on to use them into what we are doing, into the work that we are doing. And that's where I believe each one of us can succeed based on recognizing and continuing doing our thing. Who would like to go next? Who's by the name Lechu Karthik?
Hi, sir. This is Lechu Karthik.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Madurai. I came to Uma Ma'am. Yeah, Uma Ma'am suggested.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. So we are having a open mic session where people are discussing. As you progress and as you listen to other speeches, you'll get to know each one of us is sharing about what's our DNA, what makes us unique and different. Who would like to go next? Can we have Harish, Kiran, or Rashmi? Rashmi, would like to go?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. The stage is yours.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm just wondering, this topic is so hi-fi, DNA and constitution and all. So I was just thinking how to start, but I feel my undying smile is more important for me. And for that, you have every individual should work their individual to keep that undying smile till end, and then people will remember you. And for that you have to do the Veda, they said purushartha. So you have to do for that action. Your karma is more important. So if your karma is very positive and you are working toward that, so constant means in all situation you have to be stable. if you like to keep your smile stable, you have to, in all hard situation, you are learning. And pleasant situation, you are just building your confidence. So this is the life, your life is teaching you this. And I feel like you have to be work toward that, and your goal should be that. So there is lot of dimension, means we have breathing through nose, hearing through ears, and eating through mouth. So we are not taking everything in one go. There is lot of dimension. Everything work should be in that particular area, should be on that situation, in that circumstances. You have to be smart to handle that situation and keep your dying smile all the time, all the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi. You always bring about a perspective that is unthought of or something that is unique. And that in itself is something that I've seen, something which is your DNA. To bring about a perspective and connect some theme, any theme, to something which is very basic and which all of us can relate to. Now, here I would just like to add what Dr. Rashmi has shared here. When we often think of success, when we think of the achievements that we want to do, the things that we want to do, have you ever observed that? Let me do an activity first before I share this. Now, I want each one of you all to, can you all chat? Or if you're not able to chat, just think of the word that comes to your mind when I say a few successful or famous personalities. Now, if I say the word, if I say the name, Mother Teresa, what comes to your mind?
Giving, service.
Compassion.
Compassion, kindness, simplicity. Interesting.
Love and service.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, Mark Zuckerberg.
Connecting people.
Confidence.
Confidence. Somebody, Poonam, you said something? Yes,
Connecting
Harish.
people.
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. Okay. Poonam, connecting people. Kiran?
Good husband.
Good husband. I have to meet his wife now. Thank you. Next, Narendra Modi.
Speaker. Good speaker.
Born to lead.
Born to lead. Speaker.
Action taker.
Action taker. Interesting. Charismatic leader. Interesting. Now here, let's work on things which we are working on, not on labels, but the values that they reflect. So charismatic speaker is one thing. Why? The value could be different. Now here, I want you to work on that element. Next, Ratan Tata.
Hard work and principles.
Interesting. Philanthropy. Simplicity. Charity. Philanthropy. Yeah. Subhash, Uma, you also can respond. Kind-hearted. Interesting. Thank you.
Lead by example.
Lead by example. Okay. Thank you. One last case. Abdul Kalam.
Simplicity.
Genius.
Genius. Interesting.
Philosopher.
Okay. President. Okay.
Empathy
Interesting.
towards others.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sharing those things. You can go back on mute. Okay. Ingenious. Poonam, well done. Now, the reason why I ask these questions, not about the focusing on the labels, because they could be president, they could not be president, or he's a good speaker or he's not. When I'm talking about individuals in the name, the value that comes to your mind when you look at or when you hear a personality's name or a company's name is something that has been attached to them over a period of time based on the work that they have done. Now, ask yourself, with regard to Dr. Rashmi's point, when she said smile, her entire idea was consistent smile. We often think of success as a lot of complex things, too many things involved. But when you actually look back at reflecting on people who have become successful, it is at the end of it a kind of identity that they have built based on the values that they have upheld. Somebody could be chasing excellence. Somebody could be kindness. Somebody could be human. When you look at each personality that you have admired or looked upon, ask yourself, what is that one or two traits that come to your mind? What are the two values that come to your mind? And now ask yourself, it's not too complex. It's over a long period of time, consistent effort made towards the choice of what values you are projecting. That is important. That's the reason I said this. It's not complicated. It's rather simple, but a long journey, long, consistent journey where they have worked and built their success story based on the image, the identity, and the values that they have upheld for a long time. It's not an overnight thing where suddenly Ratan Tata told that, okay, I'll be philanthropic today. It is a part of his DNA. Ingenious, somebody said about Abdul Kalam. It is a part of his DNA where thinking creatively about solving problems, challenges, thinking out of box solutions. That's a part of his DNA. And that's where these individuals became successful, because they stuck to 1, 2, or 3 values that they want to stand for and consistently built that over the entire lifetime. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, for sharing that smile idea.
Thank you.
It's not too complex. You have to choose your simplicity. You have to choose what you stand for. Kiran. Okay, with that, let's move to the next speaker. Kiran, you want to go next?
Sure, Rahul. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the timer. You can see the timer coming up. So we have anywhere close to 2 to 3 minutes that you have an opportunity. Over to you.
Yeah, hi. I have 9 principles of DNA in my life, basically. Since almost 2004, I'm following these 9 principles strictly. The first one is every day 60 minutes. So 3:2:1. I mean, 30 minutes I do walking, compulsory wherever I am. And 20 minutes I do asanas, and 10 minutes meditation. So this 60 minutes every day I used to spend for myself. Second one is 2 hours solitude. In a day, I used to spend minimum 2 hours solitude. I don't talk to anybody. Somewhere I'll stick in my room, or else my office room, or else in my travel, wherever I am, I don't speak. That is a second principle that I've developed. And 2.5 to 3 liters of water I used to drink. So this is the health wise. And read 1 book in a month, compulsory. Which book? Whichever you like. That is one more fourth principles which I follow. And write 1 page in a week. That is very interesting. I used to do that. So planning to write a book on my own. That's the reason I'm writing 1 page in a week. And travel is my hobby. Travel is one of my best friends. So I travel every month 1 place. And every quarter 5 days I travel. And every 6 months 7 days. And in a year 9 days travel. Continuous travel. So I travel. So that's why 1579. So I bifurcated into all these categories. That's what I do. And anybody, like I read Bhagavad Gita. I wrote myself all the Bhagavad Gita 700 slokas during my wife's pregnancy. So that's what I did. So I request everybody to follow the same Bible, Quran, whatever it is there. 1 holy book, whichever you like. And 1 new course in a year. So you have to do 1 new course, which are latest technologies or else hobby related, anything. So I did a digital marketing course from ISB last year. And similarly, like AWS course currently I'm pursuing. So, and smile, as Rashmi has kindly already mentioned, smile is always the good asset. And Rahul, you gave a lot about that. So these are the 9 principles I follow. These are my DNA. So exactly 4 years ago, the same day, I gave birth to my son. So I celebrated birthday, even my son's just an hour ago. That's it. This is my DNA. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. This is the first time I'm speaking in front of everybody. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Kiran. For everyone's information, Kiran and I were batchmates together in IBS, ICFA Business School, back in 2006 to 2008. And it's always been inspiring to know him. And if you're saying you're doing for the first time this speaking thing, I think you should do more often. It is inspiring when people listen to stories, listen to these things which you stand for. And I believe that can inspire a lot of us to what we can do, possibly finding bits and pieces from your story to what I can do. Definitely, I got some inspiration from the things that you shared today. Thank you for those that interesting perspective. Who'd like to go next? Ma'am, go ahead. Over to you.
We are each gifted in a unique way, an important way. It is our privilege and our adventure to discover our special light. says Mary Dunbar. What is so special about you, Uma? What is unique about you? What is your DNA? This is the question I asked myself. Suppose somebody shows your photo after 50 years and asks, what is special about this lady? What will they tell? I just asked myself. I wrote down my 3 strengths. 1, energy and enthusiasm. 2, being a lifelong learner. Number 3, smiling in spite of all the challenges in life. Having found out my strengths, how am I working on it? How am I adding value to that? Am I creating an image or brand based on these strengths? Is the next question. What am I bringing to the table? Am I putting all these strengths or values of mine in all the segments, wherever I am? Let me just ponder over it. Energy and enthusiasm? Yes, definitely. Because wherever I go, I try to spread cheer and happiness. And I love traveling. I show energy and enthusiasm there. And also, I'm passionate about teaching. So, whenever I teach somebody, whenever I connect with somebody one to one, or even teach children, I get lost in that world and I'm passionate about it. So, 5 on 5 on energy and enthusiasm. Coming to the second point, that is being a lifelong learner. Age is just a number. I'm 57, but I keep attending webinars one after the other and keep learning. And immediately after the learning, I start writing the tips also and post it in the group saying, this is what I have learned. So I start implementing and also sharing whatever that I have learned. They say that knowledge shared is knowledge double. So I also get benefited when I write the tip and share it. Number 3 is smile. Smile costs less than electricity, but sheds more light. Life is not a bed of roses. There are ups and downs in life, but then life has to go on. So life has taught me that you have to move on in spite of all the challenges that you face. And in that way, I feel I'm a role model to others. In spite of all the challenges, God has given me the strength to face and move on in life. This, I feel, is my DNA. Do check whether I'm matching all this and do let me know what is your DNA.
Thank you, Uma ma'am. 5 on 5 for all the pointers that you gave and what you reflected on what is your DNA. I've known you for the past 4 years now, almost over 3.5 years. And when I thought of what are you going to deliver, these are exactly the 3 things that came to my mind, that this is what you stand for. Now, here comes the beautiful part of it. While each one of us want to project a certain DNA based on our strength or what we stand for, the important question that you need to also ask is it being perceived the same way? Is it being impacting the people that are surrounding us in the same way? I've always had this activity once a year with a very close set of friends that I have. And I ask them, in this 1 year, what do you see that I've done something that has impacted you, or what you have seen something which is good in what I've done? And there, with the answer that I get based on what people have seen, the people who are close to me, and what they have seen in what I have done or what I've stood for, reflects a great opportunity for us to assess whether we are reflecting our DNA on it. When they focus on maybe the money that I've earned from the business or something else, which is not something which I stand for or I value that much, it means that I've not projected my DNA as well as I would have wanted it to be. And so a very important thing for us to do is focus on the projection of what we stand, not marketing, but communicating what you value the most, what is something close to you, or what do you stand for. Communicating that in an effective way becomes a driving force to build your DNA in sync with what you want it to be. Now here, like Uma mentioned, lifelong learner, enthusiasm and energy, and the smile. we can see for the people who know her and have seen her, especially the members of the inner circle, we have seen that what she has spoken is what she stands for. At least I feel so. If somebody doesn't, maybe get in touch with Uma ma'am. Ma'am, you said this, but somewhere I found this missing, or I found this not to be in sync with what you're sharing. And possibly you're giving an inlet opportunity for Uma ma'am to work on where did it that she went wrong, or she moved from away from what she wants it to be. Thank you, Uma ma'am, for that wonderful speech. So let's move on to the next person. Harish, you would like to go next? Your choice,
Yeah,
your
sure.
choice. No pressure.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, go ahead. Over to you.
So, good evening, Rahul, and good evening, everybody. This question actually clean bowled me. What is your DNA? I'm like jack of all trades and master of none. Okay. Did my pharmacy diploma, graduation into economics, and working in sales from last 30 years. That is the journey of last 50 years. So when I was thinking about it, and when other speakers spoke so beautifully, and they kind of made me think about what is my DNA, and I came to some conclusion, which is very interesting. So definitely, I am a man who is committed to my work. May not be passionate about it, but definitely committed about it. So my mantra is: do your daily work on daily basis. Have peace of mind. That is mantra number one. Then coming to personal life, I am absolutely a dedicated family man, dedicated, very responsible to entire family, keeping them together and working and enjoying my life with them. And socially, I am a man involved into a lot of social projects. So connecting with people is another quality or another part of my DNA. And lastly, very interesting, coming to financial world, I am very passionate about, or very connected to personal finances. I'm very enthusiastic about knowing personal finances. So there my goal, or there my DNA is, I want to be better version of myself every year.
How?
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
there was some disturbance. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in nutshell, my DNA is absolutely committed to my work. Then, so a family man to the core, and every year I want to be better version of myself. So starting with jack of all trades and master of none, I concluded to this. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Harish. That was some interesting DNA elements that you have in there. Now, here comes the important thing with DNA. Having recognized what we stand for or what our strength is, more often than not, we can use this element to navigate into the challenging areas. And knowing that this is your DNA, we'll get through. I'll give you an example. Like Harish mentioned, I'm a person who's एक बार commit कर दिया तो मैं खुद की भी नहीं सुनता types. So the problem for me is I have a lot of hiccups in beginning things. A lot of perfection, a lot of elements, a lot of doubts, and all those things creep into my mind while I'm doing these things, whenever I'm beginning something new. But because I know I'm committed and I can solve or find or resolve a situation, I have utilized this idea of commitment to myself to push myself into things. And that has helped me. My strength of continuing my commitment has helped me do and deliver better. And that's what you all need to realize. What is your strength? Because your strength will always come handy to you in the challenges that you're experiencing, in the things that you're doing. Now, there you have to leverage on your strength to navigate the challenges that you're going to face in life based on what your strength is. You could be doubting at a certain point in time in some other facet, but you can always leverage on your strength to do better in the places of challenges. You might not like it. Like Harish mentioned, he might not want to, he might not be that excited about work or something like that, but because he is committed, he can leverage on that idea to get better. That's the focus. And very well done, Harish. Thank you for sharing those things. Who's coming up next? Hi, Ziauddin sir. Good to see you here. Hi, Nandini. Where are you joining us from?
Hi there. I'm joining from New Delhi.
Wonderful. So how do you get to know about the session?
Somebody just shared a link and I was like, oh, I'm curious about this. So I just joined in. I don't know
Wonderful.
very much. I'm sorry.
I hope the next 30 minutes we satiate your curiosity and hope that you find it better that you were here. And we are working on, or we are discussing about an open mic where we are discussing about the DNA that people have, not the biology, but what makes us unique, what makes us special. And each one is sharing their story of what makes them different. Let's go with the next speaker that we have for today, Madhu. Each one gets an opportunity for 2 to 3 minutes to speak and share what makes them unique. Madhu, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Good evening, everyone. The same question I heard a few months back in the same platform. But till then, I haven't know that what is my DNA. But later I thought, and I came to know that I also strongly believe that the first I feel like if anyone want to remember me is a positive guy. That's a point everyone will talk.
Madhu, we can't hear you. Not audible. Not yet. You at the beginning you were audible. I'm not sure. Okay, you want to come back again later? Let's go with Poonam. You want to go next? Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a spiritual and a die-hard, die-core theist person. I personally believe our main purpose should to serve the humanity and to give back to society and Mother Earth what we have got lot from our society and from Mother Earth. And we have this responsibility to give back to it, to make it a beautiful place for present and future generation. And what else, what better could be than education? Giving education to others is what brews my coffee, is that floats my boat, drives me like anything. So in my community, there are children, they are underprivileged children who don't get access to quality education. I every day go to teach them. There are around 40 students, and every single day I go there to teach them, come what may. Sometimes I don't feel like going. Sometimes I want to spend that time with my family. That 2 hours is quite important, pivotal. But visualizing those children's sparks in their eyes and their purity makes me go there every day and teach them. That's truly is my DNA. I feel like if you want to empower something, if you really want to give something, then empower them with education so they live their life with dignity and respect. And this is what drives me. This is what my DNA. Thank you. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you, Poonam. Wonderfully delivered speech, and even more beautiful, the message that you had. Something that you stand for. And I think it's been over approximately 3 months that we have known. And the work that you do and the connection that you have with service is something that is exceptional. And that is what has been visible to us. Thank you for sharing your DNA. Who would like to go next? Madhu, you want to check once? No, Madhu, not audible. Subhash, you can go in the meeting. Madhu, you want to leave the meeting and join again once? Leave the meeting once and join again. In the meantime, we are beginning with Subhash. Subhash, over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Do you know what are the building blocks of DNA? This time from biology. The basic building blocks of DNA are composed of sugar group, the phosphate group, and a nitrogen base. Yes. On top of it, I have three unique characters that add values and drives me always. Those are emotional strength, empathize others, and commitment to relationship. Firstly, I possess emotional strength during problem solving, especially in the face of challenges. I remain steadfast, composed, and drawing upon my inner resilience to navigate adversity. My boss used to say, you will come to know your real potential when there is a problem. So I don't succumb to frustration. I approach obstacles with a calm and rational mindset, seeking solutions with clarity and determination, though the issue is with a team, with myself, or with others. Secondly, I'm a listener. This feedback I got from somebody, not I came to know from somebody. In a world of voices, often clamor for attention, they find no solace and strength in listening. Means I find it in the listening. By lending ear to others, I cultivate empathy and understanding. So this empathy forms the cornerstones in my interactions and guiding me to support and uplift those around me. And lastly, third one, I deeply committed to nurturing relationships, especially I prioritize my family and above all, my well-being of my children. My goal is not to give them, excel in every aspect of life, make them excel in every aspect of life, but to grow into compassionate, resilient individuals equipped with knowledge and decision-making skills that necessary to navigate in their life. I believe that by fostering these qualities, I'm shaping them, the future generation, not to be just successful, but morally upright and socially responsible. In conclusion, my uniqueness lies in my emotional strength during my problem solving, my ability to listen empathetically, and my dedication to nurture meaningful relationships. Though these qualities shape my identity, guide my actions, allowing me to make positive impact on the world around me. How do you impact other lives? What do you, Rahul?
Thank you, Subhash. I love the second one. In a world that is full of voices, you're there to listen. That's something interesting and a good line, I must say. Something that is going to be staying for longer, not just for the line, but also for the value that you stand for. Because, rightly said, in the world that we are living in today, everyone wants to speak. Nobody wants to listen. Thank you for that. Madhu, can you check your audio once? Not audible. Not yet. Do you have a mobile or something through which you can log in? You're not audible. Log in with your mobile. Yeah. In the meantime, Nandini, getting a flavor of what's happening here. Would you like to share what's your DNA? Okay. Or you want time? Anything is okay.
I don't know if I could prepare for this, so I think I'll just speak off the cuff, maybe. All right.
Over to you.
So, unlike Mr. Subhash, I wouldn't say I know very much about the literal DNA, but the one thing I like about it is how in the last 50 to about 70 years, they found out it's like a double helix structure. And it was a very revolutionary thing because when they used to see, okay, these the two sides of the DNA, how do they connect together? It was like so revolutionary to think of it as a double helix structure, right? Now, I don't know how long a DNA strand is, but the way I see myself is not actually just as myself. I see myself as something that is consciously being shaped by what I come across, and furthermore shaping what I come across. So I love this dual balance of, who am I and who are the people around me? What is it that's affecting me and what am I affecting? That is something that I find to be what shapes me and shapes everything else as well. So, in terms of what is my DNA, it is the same as what is everybody else's, and yet it is totally unique to me. I truly believe that we all are here in this small little point of time, in the whole stretch of time, to just further whatever intention there is. And we are the ones who judge certain intentions to be negative or positive, but actually they're just intentions. And we're so small, like we're literally like little cells, on Earth, and we're so small and we don't know the vastness of all that exists around us. Like even being in this room, there are like, I don't know, almost more than 12 of us over here, aside from me. And what are we all thinking? What's actually going inside us? It's like beyond fascinating, because what is inside you is not my words. It's how you're reacting to my words. And your reactions are based off of everything that you've experienced until now. So DNA is such a beautiful thing to think about, but I will not think of it as just my small insular self. I would think of it as a combination of experiences that are shaping me and that I'm also helping shape, perhaps.
Thank you, Nandini. Very interesting perspective, I must say. You use the literal formation of the DNA to share such profound idea about how all of us are interlinked, and you on us and us on we on you. It's a beautiful idea, and something that I would like to just to add over there with regard to the entire process through which each one of us can find our DNA is not in isolation. If you look at Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, or anyone that you feel, it is a part of being in sync with the environment that you are in, soaking in and creating an impact. The idea that Nandini mentioned about time, you are like a timestamp. If you look back 20 years back, what comes to your mind? What happened 20 years back was a timestamp that someone created. And the impact it had need not be famous, but the impact that it created will be on its own surroundings and the idea that the people who are being impacted, that one by one timestamp. Interesting share over there. Thank you, Nandini, for that very interesting perspective of how each one of us is connected, and we all are creating our own timestamps and forming our DNA in the process of evolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this chance to speak.
Who would like to go next?
Am I audible, Rahul?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, Madhu. Where are you? Yeah, you're here. Can you take the speaker a bit closer?
Yes. Am I audible right now?
Audible now. Perfect.
Sure. Thank you.
Finally, this was your time when you got your timestamp. You were not lucky to get it before Subhash or Poonam or Nandini. Here's your time now. Over to you.
Thank you and apologies. Yeah, as I mentioned, my first thing is a positive thinking. Whatever I do, wherever I am, whatever the situation, just I wanted to take a positive. Maybe sometimes it may not work, but I prefer to be a positive guy. No, not in terms of COVID positive guy. Just I wanted to be a positive guy, whatever I do. And people, many times showed me to the example of that. I'll be very happy to hear that. And second thing is, do whatever you like it, but try to help, but don't harm. Now, we know that nowadays people will do something and they think that it's not harming others. But either way, any other way, definitely sometimes we are hurting others without knowing also. But I always prefer whatever it is. I don't want to be like, I want to help. But first of all, I want to help, but I don't want to be any negative guy or, any person who is trying to harm with or without any intention. And the last thing is be happy. Whatever you want to be happy. Wherever you are, be happy. Okay, whether it come, no problem. We try it. We put our efforts, but we see, putting our efforts, definitely we'll do it. But results, we don't need to bother about it. But at least maximum trying. And these three things, I feel like, it made me like right now who I am. If anyone remembers me, or when I'm not there, if they want to talk about, might be these things, they should talk, I think. So I feel like whatever right now I'm happy, and I want to be a better guy without hurting anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu. You were pretty audible this time.
Okay,
and you were happy at that. Thank you for that wonderful speech and those wonderful ideas that you shared about what you want to be remembered for. With that, let's move to, do we have Ziauddin sir? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Hi. Okay. Your name, I thought it was
Unisa.
Unisa. Go ahead. Unisa, you'd like to share
Yes,
something?
yes, sir. One, two lines only.
Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say everyone is unique and special in their own way. And everyone, each one has a very good attitude in their life. Like first is we should life experience as first thing. No two people will have the same experiences in life, so that's why we can take some things from others. Also habits and new things. How you do things and your daily habits make you different from other people. Also personality we can take from others. Your personality is shaped by your experiences, knowledge and wisdom. Or attitude, we should have a very positive attitude. Your attitude can influence the people around you. Also creativity we should have. Creativity can take many forms such as art, dance and learning skills. So all the things we can take from others and our attitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Unisa. Glad to see you here. Unisa again is one of the members of one of the guests who has been very consistent with the Speak Up Club for the last 3.5, 4 years now. Thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts with us. We have Sri Krishna. Before that, can I ask if Karthik or Meenakshi would like to share something? Karthik?
Hi, sir.
Hi. Would you like to share something?
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Can you come on video if it's possible? I think it's always good to see and listen to you. Yeah, sure.
Can I go after Sri Krishna if I have to come on video?
Okay, just you can come back in 2 minutes. We'll have Sri Krishna in the meantime. Is that okay?
Sure. Okay. Yeah,
okay,
sir.
we'll wait for your video to be on. Meenakshi, if you're there, we'll be more than happy to listen to you as well.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
So my DNA is I just go join in a class. Have, for example, in my childhood days, I just go join a class like Bharatanatyam, and in the mid of the class, without completing it, I'll jump to another class, and I got interest in singing without completing it. So it jumping to other class, and it went like jumping from one to another. So even in my job, it without completing it, I jump to another one, and it goes on. So then I later on I found that speaking was singing as one part. Speaking was passionate to me. So at home, I just consider argument as a racing or of speaking. If you argue with someone or something, racing first and going finishing the topic would be pleasurable for me. It used to be like that. So I think my passion is to speak and motivate on get motivated and motivate others too. So this is how my DNA works on for now. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, Meenakshi, for sharing that. I could see, where is Harish? Harish, are you there? Harish? I could see Harish smiling when she was talking about jack of all trades, jumping from one to another. And I was waiting to see Subhash because he's a listener and Meenakshi is a speaker. I think there'll be a good match to talk to each other because nobody will be feeling bad of hurting what they want to do in the process. Thank you, Meenakshi, for sharing that. That was an interesting perspective. Sri Krishna, you would like to go next?
Yeah.
Okay. Over to you. Please time yourself.
Have you figured out your DNA? I haven't. I am yet exploring my DNA. However, there are three instances in my life which I felt this could be my DNA. First instance is with regards to my childhood. I always like Ramayana. One of the reason is I was a CBSE student, and in 6th class I had the Ramayana textbook, and it's there even today for CBSE. If anyone knows, because of that, I got inspired with the character of Lord Rama and his good qualities, like listening to the father and all. And because of that, I started narrating Ramayana to people, and the way of narration was really good. And because of that, many people gave me a suggestion: why don't you do any spiritual talk, something like of that sort? So I never had that thought even today, because I have always felt narrating Ramayana or something like that, something related to spirituality as a hobby than a profession. So this is the first instance where I felt this could be my DNA, but I haven't deep dived into it. The second instance is with regards to my college days, when I used to give seminars on different topics. Here also, the style of explaining, whenever I explain a topic, it kind of everyone understands it well. So I thought that I can be a teacher. Even I have the thought back of my mind even today that can I become a faculty today? This is one of the thought I am still pondering on it. And the third instance is just 2 years ago with regards to the stock market. I started investing in the stock market. Officially, you can call me the COVID batch investor. Yeah, that's literally a batch. So after I started with trading with limited quantity, then slowly I explored the world of investing. Right now, I am pursuing something called as financial modeling. So anybody who is in equity, they'll know that a company is listed in stock market. They release quarterly results every quarter. So we analyze, and based on the industry, the future potential of the company. That is the core idea of financial modeling. I am trying to learn and inculcate it, and this is also a part I am thinking, but don't know how will this materialize. Have you figured out your DNA? Let me know.
Thank you, Sri Krishna. Beautifully said. When you began your speech, it was wonderful that I don't know my DNA. I think that's one of the fallacy that we all fall into a trap of fixating on one thing of what is my DNA, not realizing that it is more often than not that life and circumstances and situations often navigate us to the eventual process of what we want to be. Not that we don't have a choice, but yet it is not the answer that we can find at one point in time. It is gradually over a period of time that we uncover or find the hidden gem of what is it that is we want our life message to be, life purpose to be, or something like that. Thank you, Sri Krishna, for sharing that. And let's move to Karthik next. And we have Alia and Meena. And if you'd like to share something after Karthik, the stage will be yours. After that, we'll be towards the end of the session for today. Karthik, over to you.
So thank you. What is in my DNA? So throughout since that I joined this session, I was thinking, what can I say about from my side? So I could come up with 2 points. Like after 50 years, if I ask anyone, like if somebody asks anyone who is Karthik and what is about him, I think they would definitely mention the point which I am about to say right now. I believe, like I heard a Sanskrit phrase which means speech is silver, silence is gold. So like I'm admired by that phrase, and like in any new circle or anyone whom I meet in for fresh, I would never talk much or be jovial. I would just observe the circle and situation around me. After a certain point of time, like I would break out and make things in a flow. And they would wonder, is this the one whom we met like at first? So that would, I think that trait would be a one thing that people might mention about me. And the second point is that So that's the one. Like I got missed off my second point. I was thinking of something. Yeah, like I always believe that good or bad, it always lies on the eyes of the beholder. You can't say anything to be 100% good or 100% bad. There is this phrase of by Sri Ravi Shankar. He says, "Truth is spherical, not linear, so it could be contradictory." So hence, I never like say anyone to be 100 like you're so bad, you're so good. I always stay in the neutral side, like a piece to everything. So whatever I believe, I preach that and I make it clear to people around me so that I can be safe and nobody thinks me to be weird or odd. So that's the other thing. And that's from my side. Thanks for the opportunity. Bye.
Thank you, Karthik, for that wonderful idea. While you were sharing the second point, I could see the sparkle in Nandini's eyes with regard to the spherical idea and not being right or wrong at one point in time. Wonderfully shared. Interesting perspective over there. We have, do we have, who joined last? I hope Alia. Alia, how do I spell your name? I'm sorry.
Yes, Alia.
Alia. Okay, wonderful. Alia, you have just joined. We are towards the fag end of the session. But here we are talking about what makes you special or what makes you unique. Would you like to share something?
Yes, of course.
Over to you.
Good evening, all. For me, my life and the knowledge I have, people remember me like a good human being. My DNA is key. I always want to help people. Don't expect anything back, but give, give, give. That's all. That is my DNA.
Thank you. Thank you, Alia. I think that's a different DNA we have heard now. I think coming towards the end of the session, it leaves a recency effect on how simple things can be. Investing an entire lifetime into being knowledgeable and learning and growing and working on yourself, and then doing it with service to someone without an intention of what you're going to get back. Thank you for that wonderful DNA that you have. I believe with your age, with your experience, you have cultivated that and stood on that. Thank you for sharing us with that, your DNA on this platform today. With that, we come towards the end of today's session. I believe when it comes to DNA, I hope each one of you all, for the guests who have been here, for the members, they have been pondering over this question for the last 1 week because the topic was announced to them on last Saturday about what they are going to be delivering a speech on in this session. For the guests, I hope during the session, if you have not heard of the topic or not heard of what is going to happen in this session, during the session, you have got ample number of opportunities where you have pondered over the simple question of what makes you different, what makes you special. And I believe if you have served even that purpose, let alone finding it, leaving you an opportunity to think and ponder over what is it that makes you unique, because that's the place where the spark starts, where you start questioning. I hope you have a good sleep and are not pondering over what is your DNA over tonight before you go to sleep, because that's going to leave you with a lot of thinking to do with regard to possibly not. It's not a case where it is happening or something which you did not, it was just that you could not label it until now. But possibly if you're able to think out and work on what's your DNA, it does pave a good way forward in how you are approaching and creating a life with purpose in the way you approach life and the days that pass by. And at the backdrop, what we need to understand is we are not working with individuals. Like Nandi mentioned, right now, you're not talking, you're not listening to me. You're listening to the version of what you think of who I am, of what you're working with, your variables of how you're perceiving to what I'm saying. So understand one thing, when you talk of a DNA, of how much effort that you've made into curating it and working on building that, at the end of it, we all are dealing with identities, not with individuals. With what you think is what that person stands for more than what the reality is. So all I would say is the world that you see around you is not all by in itself the truth or the only facet of what you know. It is a creation of what you think, it based on the DNA that each one of them have projected and built in your mind. So remember, what you are doing, what you are working on, the steps that you're taking, and the work that you're doing in projecting what you are standing for helps in building your identity in the minds of others. So be sure to be conscious of living it with a purpose and intention of how you're building your DNA and projecting the same. With that, we come to an end for today's session. I would like to thank each one of you all for joining us today. The members, I'm proud of the fact of how you have grown over the past 3 months, specifically while we are going through this journey of Speak Up Mastery, wherein we work week after week, every Friday, and work on one specific element that we want to learn in public speaking mastery. And you deliver speeches next week. And this was a meeting where the fourth meeting of every month, where we have it as an open mic for all of us to share the learnings. And this becomes an example of how we are comfortable while we are sharing something with the world out there, not in the limited set of own network people that we are in the classrooms that we have. I hope each one of you all had a good experience while sharing your perspectives, listening to the perspectives that everyone had to share. Thank you for joining us. With that, it's signing off for today's session. I would leave it open for any of the guests or any members to share any feedback or any thoughts that you felt about today's session. The stage is open now. Anyone? Madhu, go ahead. I hope you're audible this time at least.
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm thinking.
Over to you. You're audible.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul. Yeah, obviously, as you mentioned, every topic, not only this topic in this platform, when we met different kind of people, obviously, definitely we get different kind of thought process, and definitely that will open the new era, because we never think in that area. But when we heard first time, definitely we start thinking in that, and we get some new points, and sometimes we'll be very happy to hear that. So thank you very much for providing such a great platform to hear great perspectives from different people. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Lakshmi, are you there? Yes, Harish, go ahead.
Yeah, just one line, Rahul. This was really interesting interaction with all of you. Recently, I was reading one book, Think Like a Monk. Okay, so just adding to what you said to Nandini, that is, I am not what you think I am. I am not what I think I am. I am what you think I am. So just that was a signing note.
It'll take people time to digest this statement. Go
Yes,
ahead, please.
it's very interesting. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for inviting Rahul. It was a pleasure attending. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Harish. Glad that you liked it. Nandini, anything you'd like to share?
Yes, I just want to say thank you very much for this. I know I joined quite late, but I really enjoyed hearing different people speak about DNA, what makes them them. And as I wrote in the chat, I would love to learn a little bit more about this group. And I also love the idea of every Friday it's an open mic, so even outsiders can get to listen to the speakers. And thank you also for opening it up to allow others to contribute. It seems like a wonderful little community, and I wish you all the best, every single one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nandini. Yes, the fourth Friday of every month is an open mic. The 3 Fridays, other Fridays, is where we meet, and each one of us, one of the person is a host of the members, one of the person is a host who does lead the session, and all other people deliver a 1 to 2 minute speech on the theme. Whatever is the theme that is chosen by the host, they deliver speeches on that, and they get feedback on the quality of the speech and different elements that they have been learning through the past weeks. So that's how the sessions are kind of structured. And at the end of every session, we have a small segment of 15 to 20 minutes where I share some specific element about public speaking, which I've gained through my experience as being a public speaker for 18 years now. Something which in a practical way that can be developed and improved by the members, and through the week in the WhatsApp group of the members only, we share a set of activities or something that they can do to work and build that specific skill that we have shared as a learning bite in that session. And this is done 3 weeks, and the fourth Friday is open mic where they just come and deliver a session like this. Or for the fourth Friday, I'm the host. And as we progress, as we build confidence, the members will start taking up the host for the fourth Friday as well. That's the plan as of now. And we move and we meet every, so that this entire thing setup is for quarterly meetings. We have had this month, this quarter ends today, and we'll be continuing with the next quarter from the first Friday of April onwards. That's the plan. And that's how the meetings are structured. And thank you, everyone. Anyone else would like to share anything before I close the meeting for today? Yes, Dr. Rashmi, go ahead.
Means I'm really happy to attend, after so many years, you can say, or months, but I'm really happy to attend, and it is really the vision, you will not get this type of platform anywhere, means you are showing like a subject and make them think, and if you think and act and present, your personality will change. So we are so lucky you are conducting this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi. It's always been an honor. Despite the time difference and where you come from, you're still connecting with us all the way from London. Despite all your hectic schedule and you making out time for us is an honor. Thank you for being with us, and love you. Alia, last one for today. Over to you.
Yeah, so I just joined this session and I could see only one person speaking about DNA. But the kind of interaction and then openness, I really like that. And I would like to be associated further to know more about this program. So let us see how this will help, because I feel teaching learning is a like continuous process. So I'm ready to learn and adopt whatever like good things are there in life. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, Alia. I'm just sharing a link in the chat over here where you can connect with us. There's a Speak Up Club group, which is a generic group which I have created, in which any announcements with regard to the work that I do, whether it's an open mic or any open sessions that I'm doing, or I'm sharing some content anywhere, I'll share it in this WhatsApp group in this link. Apart from that, today's meeting, Alia, if you have missed other speakers, today's meeting will be shared in the YouTube channel. Like all our content has been shared, except for the inner circle members meetings which we have. Those are only members, and the video content is shared with only the members. Apart from that, all are open mics. The 125 Saturday nights that we have had is a part of the YouTube channel that is there in this. And even the open mics that we have every Friday, fourth Friday, are a part of this channel. So you can always go ahead. If something excites you, some topic is exciting to you, go ahead, explore the content, listen to the perspectives, not just mine, but of everyone in the stories that they have shared. So with that, Poonam, in one platform, you're giving us, okay. Thank you. With that, we come to an end for today's session. Glad we spent the Friday night like this. And I hope each one of you all leave this Friday night getting into a weekend wiser and thinking more about what all life has to offer to you. Thank you, and see you all again on the next fourth Friday of April. And for the members, see you all on the first Friday of April. The next Friday is a holiday. I take a break every quarter for one Friday. I hope I have the leverage of that, and we'll stay connected in the group. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.